Jones raises his head and snarls. He wasn't actually dead. The consul and everybody else in the teepee jump to their feet and let out murmurs of shock and surprise. One member of the consul yells loudly something in their language, and then rushes over and buries his tomahawk into Jones' head. "I thought you said he was dead." Smokey whispers to Sheriff. "I lied." Sheriff whispers back. "We've got a town full of these," Sheriff says. The council all deliberate. It seems like they might be telling the chief to tell Sheriff and Smokey to go screw themselves. The chief speaks and the translator translates. "You will take Buffalo Horse and Fish River with you. They will help you kill them and make sure none are left." And of course his name is in Fish River. He was the top fisherman in the tribe, so his name is related to that. I wanted to say it was swims with fish or runs with the river, but either way I don't know for sure, and once again, Fish River is a lot easier to write out. I hope nobody's offended by these nicknames. So, Buffalo Horse and Fish River leave to gather their weapons. The chief says something to Sheriff and Smokey in English as they're leaving the tent. "Beware the bite of the dead man." "Thank you," Sheriff says, not just for that tidbit of information, but for their help as a whole. "Beware the bite was the first damn thing that we learned," Smokey says once they're outside. "Yeah, I told you they'd have some kind of knowledge about this. You see, that one guy went straight for the head." Buffalo Horse and Fish River ride over. "All right, man," Sheriff says. "Looks like we've got a town to clean up." The Indians lend Smokey a spare horse and the four of them ride back towards town. They get about a mile from town when they start noticing some stragglers. There's a couple of townsfolk who had shambled out of town and are just lost wandering the open land. Buffalo Horse and Fish River take the opportunity to show what they can do. Buffalo Horse uses his bow and pulls off a miraculous headshot from about 50 yards out. Fish River rides up to his guy and smokes him in the head with some kind of club, the force of which knocks the whole rotting head off the shoulders. Anyway, they make a startling discovery at this point. A little past these two stragglers, they find a cow just standing in the middle of nowhere. Its entire side missing flesh with its ribcage and half of its guts on the ground next to it. After putting it down, they realize that they're going to have to sweep the entire countryside of all around town, not just of zombies wandering off, but any animals they happen to eat along the way. They decide to split up and do a wide circle around town to clean up anything they find, before moving into town proper. A lot of people's houses they decide to clear first too. Most of them were single story and only a room or two. Smokey and Fish River and Sheriff and Buffalo Horse. They start at the south and ride their way to the north side of town. They find a couple stragglers that they put down, and Sheriff ends up finding his horse as well, half limping after some kind of desert rodent to eat it. It was probably nice for Sheriff to put him down for good, in a morbid kind of way. After checking the outskirts of town and cleaning up a few stragglers, they're now ready to head into town. They come up from the north side and are immediately met with about 6 or 7 zombies right off the bat. Buffalo and Fish are quiet about it, but Smokey up and just blows somebody's head off, which obviously attracts everyone. They get off their horses and slap their ass and holler to get them to run off for the time being, so that they don't get eaten. And then they duck into the inn since it's the nearest building. Smokey grabs the cavalry sword that's hanging on the wall as a decoration. Immediately inside the building, there's 2 zombies standing at the main desk, which Fish promptly slices one up while Smokey uses his new sword on the other. "Might as well clear this building first," Sheriff says. "Check every room." They head upstairs and find most of the rooms empty. The room at the end of the hallway has 2 zombies trying to get in it. They're just walking into the door repeatedly and hitting it softly with their hands, all the while growling and hissing. "Hey, is that Doc's nurse?" Smokey points out one of them. Remember, they don't know that she started it. Anyway, the zombies hear his voice and turn around and hiss, then shamble towards them. Buffalo chucks his tomahawk and takes down the nurse, and Sheriff uses his Bowie knife on the other one. Is somebody out there? A voice calls from inside of the room. The guys all look at each other,